Hey, we're going to try something a little bit different today. I need to go into a canyon over here and retrieve a camera trap to see if there's any mountain lions or snakes on it. And then I need to go into a cave to see if there's any rattlesnakes or Hila monsters in there. And I need to do it before these huge clouds over here dump a monsoon storm over the area and flood it all out. And I have to do it tonight because I can't after tomorrow. So, just normal work stuff. But what's different about this video is that I'm going to try something, I'm going to take a hint from the comments that we get. So normally what we do, of course, is we get a bunch of footage and then we try to go through it and remove a bunch of stuff and, give you a pretty edited type of video. Every time we have a part where we're walking around in the desert, we get responses to it. We look at the retention and people are watching it. People seem interested in not just the parts where we find snakes, but the parts where we are walking around in the desert at night, sometimes tripping on stuff, sometimes just finding nothing, sometimes hearing weird sounds, whatever. I think it might be kind of interesting to just go into what I have to do tonight and just hit record and show it all to you. So, don't know how this is going to go. We might not find anything at all. There could be nothing that happens, or a lot of really cool stuff could happen. You have no way to know. But let's go try it out. I'm going to go get some water, and then I have to check the weather one more time to make sure, that I don't end up drowning tonight as a result of what we're doing. And I'll turn it on again when we get to the spot. Okay, I did one last check of the weather, and it looks like those clouds are going to stay on the other side of the mountain tonight. So, good for me for this activity. It's not that the camera is in a place that it's going to flood. It's that I wouldn't be able to get to it. The other thing is, I think this camera probably failed. I've had some problems with this particular brand of camera. It fails about half the time, and I'm sick of it. So I got some better cameras. They cost more. The reason I haven't done that before is just people tend to steal cameras on occasion, and that always just sucks. But, arguably not any more than going to get the camera and seeing that you've had it sitting out there for 2 months and it hasn't recorded anything. It's not as fun. So I'm going to go get the camera. I'm going to swap it out because I want to see how things change in this area as soon as the rain starts. There's this multi-purpose cave that's there. You've seen it before on that channel, I'm sure. Lots of stuff. Everything uses it. There's tons of javelina, rattlesnakes, you name it. So I'm going to go in there and see if there's anything in that cave, see if there's anything else running around. Temperatures come down quite a bit. It is now, sunset has finished, and it's only 98 degrees right now. So looking for a nice, cool Arizona summer hike. Just kidding. I have a ton of water, and before I get to where we're going, which is in like 5 minutes, I'm going to drink my second Gatorade. That's usually one of the things I do is going in here. One of the places you can carry a lot of water is in your stomach. So I just load up and just drink as much as I possibly can before I even start, and then carry a bunch of other water on top of that. So even on a relatively easy-going nighttime hike that the temperatures are only going to be in the upper 90s and there's no sun, I'm still not going in there without less than 6 liters of water. No way. So I'll be there pretty shortly. I'm wearing this fun shirt. I got it in Thailand. It's a fun story. It was less fun at the time. I was in Thailand with some good friends of mine from Nova Inventa, a research organization that I hang out with and tag along on some fun stuff. Anyway, we're in Thailand. Everybody lands. We're getting all ready. My bag doesn't come. That's not good. It's got all my field gear in it, all the stuff. And I'm getting ready, I'm getting nervous because we're all leaving and the bag still hasn't shown up. And then we end up finding out where it is. It's still in China. It's held up in China, and we're trying to go through and fill out, they're sending us documents to forge in Hotmail. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, they're working on it. but I'm not going to get my bags, and we have to go. So it's either hang out in Bangkok and wait until my bag maybe shows up, or figure it out and try to go find a cobra with my friends. So which one of those am I going to do, right? So we leave, and I'm wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt that I flew in, and I'm wearing these clothes for like 4 days at this point. I have no field equipment whatsoever, and I'm going to just go like into the jungle and go find a cobra that way. No, we got to get some clothes. So on the way, we convinced the driver to stop at like the Thai equivalent of Walmart, which is this like 3-story giant building that, you know, we're just in the country. It doesn't make any sense to me. And he's like, 5 minutes. So we all get out. It's like supermarket sweep. We all are just like flooding this store. And I'm 6'3". At the time, I weighed about 240 pounds. I don't fit in any Thai clothes. Okay, so that was just kind of the directive. It's like, I don't care what it looks like. Find the biggest clothes in the country. So we went out and came back with a fine selection of one pair of pants that could possibly fit, which is like a skin tight, like polyester pleated slack. It worked. It's better than sweatpants. And then like 3 of the most ridiculous like floral shirts that you could possibly imagine. Yeah, so that was it. So also we ended up at a place and they sold t-shirts. I'm like, one of those, please. So I still have those shirts that don't fit. They fit better now. They actually fit. I lost a bunch of weight, but the pants did not make it out of Thailand. But this shirt has been fun because it wasn't only with me on that trip and it had that fun story associated with it. It came with me to India as well. So this is, if you see those videos of us in India, you'll see me wearing this shirt, and it's covered in blood because we kept getting attacked by leeches. So this shirt is a perfect field shirt. It's been all over the world. It has blood stains on it from all over the world. And I'm probably going to add to those tonight as I'm going through all the cat claws in this canyon. Fun stuff. That's where most of my shirts end up anyway. Being field clothes. I have 2 distinct sections of my closet. I have the parts that have, shirts I'll wear around people, and then I have shirts that I will wear to places where leeches are going to attack you. Okay, let me go in here. So the reason I don't have any problem showing you what I'm doing tonight is that this is behind a locked gate. There's no access to it at all. This is a preserve managed by the Desert Foothills Land Trust. They do a ton of good conservation work up in this area where I live, to just try to keep the nature of the place, keep all the animals where they should be, trying to just slow down a little bit development. Like, you don't need to build on every single thing. And hold on, was that a snake? It was a lizard. Anyway, Desert Foothills Land Trust, they do good work up here, and I help out by doing this kind of stuff. I do surveys on these properties, give photographs, give information about what's living on these places. So it works out good for everybody. I get to do some work I like, and hopefully I can contribute to their cause as well. So, but that's why I can film here, is because no one can get in here. Nobody's going to be coming in to replicate what I'm doing in these places. It's actually pretty cool because I can be pretty well assured that where I'm going, I'm the only one that's going to go look at it. There's nobody else that's messing with these animals, which I can't say at all in some of our other places that we serve in, like our work that we're doing in the city of Phoenix. I mean, we go out there and we're documenting what those snakes do, but we share those snakes, a lot of them, with who knows how many herpers, who knows how many animals are sitting in somebody's like aquarium back in Texas or something that have one of our pit tags. in it, or just have been disturbed enough to where we no longer really, we have this kind of distorted view of what they actually do. Not the case here. I'll be there in just a second. I'm gonna go up to the top of this canyon first, and then drop in. In this canyon, I've seen speckled rattlesnakes, tiger rattlesnakes, diamondbacks, and blacktails. So we got a full selection of the cool stuff here. Also, multiple mountain lions. In fact, there's a video we did a while back where I was about to drop into the same canyon, probably to put a camera in the same place, and right before I dropped in, I heard a mountain lion calling from the hill right above. So, that gets you thinking. Okay, I'm here. Okay, I'm just gonna start filming. Well, I guess I haven't stopped. Flashlight. 3 flashlights. Bringing headlamp, definitely. Extra batteries for. Let's get rid of this. By this time of the year, my car is just such a disaster. I kind of get everything organized during the beginning of field season, and then I kind of know where everything is. Kinda. This year, because I have a lot of things going on, I didn't get a chance to do any of the organization, so it's like I just manage a tremendous amount of stuff and just kind of have to find it every time. Okay. Lots of flashlights. Lots of extra stuff, lots of water. Let's go put on the equipment and get out of here. Oops. I know this is probably not the most fun or useful format. You might be skipping through a lot of it, but it's worth trying out. Just kind of give you a little more realistic view of what we do. Let's see. Okay. I did already load up my backpack before, so that's good. I just need to put the camera in there. Take out some stuff from the weekend. I'm using this. This is a Spy Point Flex or Force Pro, it's called. It's got a solar thing on it, and the thing I like about this brand I didn't put a card in it. Okay, we'll figure that out later. Hang on. It's all right. I'll take it out of my camera if I need to. I'm not going here without it. Alright, so. Wait a minute. I have a second one in here too. Do I have a card in here? Of course I do. Let's bring this one instead. See how good I am at planning things? Oh my god. Alright. Leave this one here. And we'll bring this camera instead. It's like I planned to do that. You can hear all the birds starting that don't normally call at night. Bringing this cool guy too. This is like a floodlight that I can use for photography or whatever. I like it. I'm going to use it. Hopefully, I mean, if we see something. And then I have to put on the other stuff. So 2 waters, 3 waters, 4 waters. I have more in my backpack. Probably don't need it, but I bring bear spray into these canyons. Not even for bears, for mountain lions and stuff. And I did find bear poop in here one time, so getting all lit up. Put this on. This is the snap mount that we use, so I can attach you to my chest when we're hiking through a canyon. And I don't want to ruin this hat I haven't ruined yet. I'm going to wear this smelly hat that I wore in India. And all over the place, because that's a hat I can ruin. And then headlamp. A Fenix lamp that is actually used for running. This is a model for people that jog. I like them, but the problem is when you leave one of these in your car, this elastic band gets destroyed. I have another one, hang on. So I'm going to have to get another one. There's only so many of these that you can destroy. There we go. Okay. Then I have a Garmin. Yeah, this does take a little bit of time, doesn't it? Water, stuff, keys, phone, everything I need. I have one more water. I'm gonna swap this one. Honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten ready like this with anybody watching before. It's kind of interesting. And there's a lot. I'm kind of dressed like a dork, but you know, it's field work. All right, let's go. So I have multiple flashlights that kind of do different things. They have different widths of beams and that kind of thing, and those different widths can do different things. So I have a really narrow beam that I'll use when it's daytime, or if I'm looking in crevices or doing den hunting, that kind of thing. And then I have a really wide beam that I use in other situations, like this, like when I'm just searching a general area or stuff. This has all been really grazed out by something recently, so I don't think I'll spend too much time here. Okay, we're gonna go hop down the canyon. So I do have a snake hook with me. A lot of times I don't use it. Really one of the most useful things that it provides is just kind of like a climbing tool. I can use it to help lower me down. You know, it's just like having a long arm that I can touch the ground with and do stuff. I mean, that's probably 95% of its purpose. But let me stick this camera to my chest because I do need my arms. I think on camera these things don't look as steep as they are. They are steep. And the thing we do through here is just be very careful with our steps. A lot of this work is done alone also, so you just don't want to get hurt because no one might know about it until the morning when I'm just kind of not there. Let me find the best way down here. I might go a little bit longer way, but I think today I want to go just get right down in there. Sometimes there's water in the bottom of this canyon. There usually is all spring, it flows, and there's a little spring as well, but I can't imagine that there's anything in it now. There's probably not any water at all. Probably hasn't been for a while. Well, there's the spring. And it's dry. I'm gonna go up and around because I don't want to drop down this cliff. What is this? I have cactus spines all over. Cat claws. Okay, here we go. Smell skunk already. Of course. Well, been sprayed by 2 skunks, but at the same time. That's the only time that's ever happened to me. I was in southern Arizona looking for rattlesnakes. Surprise, surprise. Flipped over a piece of tin, and there were 2 skunks under it. I think they were courting or mating. Anyway, they both blasted me at the same time. Got a squirt from 2 skunks at the same time. And doesn't smell very good. It's not great. And I couldn't I had other stuff to do, so and I was down near Tucson at the time, so I had to get fixed up. I went and got some dish soap, which actually works amazingly well. Just dish soap plus friction to get skunk stuff off of you. And there was I had to go get the soap. So we'll say I was the least popular person in a grocery store in Tucson for a little while. But then I went to a hotel that I could check in without going into a building, and got as clean as I could. But then I got a call right in the middle of it to go, hey, go to New Mexico and do some other field work. We need you there. So I went, smelling fun the whole time. All right. Yeah, when there's actually water running through here, this is a pretty cool place. There's amphibians, there's obviously a lot of snakes. Right now, I don't know where they're at. They're probably hiding. I think if I were to guess, if we're going to see any snakes tonight, there could be a blacktail or similar in the cave we're going to go to. But we're going to check everywhere. And hopefully this works. I don't know. Sometimes, I'm using a DJI Action Cam for this because we have problems with the GoPros overheating. And I don't think this would be possible with the GoPros because it's still really hot out here. It's still, 95. So just like the little estivation stuff that's over by my office, works very much the same. There's going to be caves in the side and places that they can really get out of the heat. And that's where they're going to just kind of wait until the monsoon comes and brings some moisture. And it's not just about heat avoidance too. That right now, they don't have any opportunities to drink, so every time they breathe, they're losing moisture, so they got to just shut things down as much as they can. So there's just not a lot of activity for us in June. Typically, it's our slowest month on the hotline. It's the slowest month for field work like this. But you can still find some stuff if you put in the time. Now I'm hoping we see something too, because that's something I think it'd be cool if this worked. If we just have this format where we just let it run. And we see what happens, but the problem is we don't always succeed. In fact, a lot of times we don't. And we're not just going out in the times when we think we're going to potentially see something, because then you don't learn anything. You also have to go out when we don't think we'll find anything, because that's when you can be surprised. So I don't want this to be too boring. It's just a bunch of, lights bobbing around. I'm out here looking for stuff. This is most of what we do. There's a little mouse. Not sure what kind of mouse. I'm bad at mice. That would be better. Last time I was in here, I found a really big blacktail. That was pretty cool. I bet he's in the cave now. Guess we'll find out. I hope he's not the only, I hope he's the only thing in there though. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if there's some other snakes and Hila monsters or something like that, but I'd prefer not having a mountain lion in there. Or a bear. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera on my chest. So got a little climbing to do here. Not much, just stuff I gotta pay attention to. Pretty deep drop off here at the side. I'll have to come in here in like September or something and show you what it's like when there's actually water in here. It's pretty beautiful. This little spot is one of the places where water stays the longest when it is here. So sometimes you just get a little bit of mud that's down in here, and animals that are hanging out around it, but you can see that's just bone dry at this point. Nothing. Oh shit. Okay. And all these little crevices up on the side, that is sometimes where things estivate, so that's why I'm looking up there. In fact, last time I was here, I think there was a Hila monster over here. Probably gone now though, because it's so dry here. Yeah, there's nothing in there now. Maybe it went to the cave, who knows? Oh no. Oh no. It's dead. That's not the same one, but that's... It's a dead Hila monster. Just didn't make it. It bums me out. I'm gonna have to get some photos of that. That's what these animals deal with through here. That wasn't killed by anybody, that was killed by the environment. It was killed by hot, dry weather and the inability for animals to deal with it. That's why it's frustrating when, like even now I feel like I need to not say the obvious things here that we can see when we're dealing with stuff. Is the climate is changing. I'm sorry. Okay, and I know that a lot of the demographic that watches what we do might be fueled by political misinformation, but for anybody that's actually doing any kind of environmental science, this is the reality. Dead animals, dying environments. Well, that's not the one that I saw before, but it means that this is there's a known estivation spot here, and it wasn't enough. Is there anything else behind it? No. All right. Not a good way to, not a good first animal to find. But we'll keep going. And yeah, I can get grumpy, is that the word? Where we're just trying to do work and monitor this stuff, and every time that we talk about some of the pretty, basic aspects of that, like, climate science, you just get roasted in the comments by people who don't really have any source of information other than whichever type of news they watch, when there's really, people that are doing the work out in the environment. That it's night and, it's clear as day once you look at it. So even those behavioral adaptations, like moving to estivation sites and that kind of thing, having staged estivation, where they can move to different places to try and survive 110 120-degree temperatures, 116 in this area right here, with no water for how long? It's not enough. I might even see articles out right now about saguaro, or the cactus are dying at alarming rates. It's all part of the same thing. Change flashlights. Can I get a wide beam here? Where did I put my wide beam? Here's the other half of field work, is me trying to figure out where the hell I put my stuff. Okay. Here we go, wide beam. Narrow beam is good for a lot of stuff. But general searching like this, I like having a pretty wide beam. We've tested that before, where we have a few people we're checking in the same area. And it's been years since we did this, but my friend Rich and I, I think we had one other person there too. I can't remember who it was that trip. But we had different types of flashlights. One of us had a really narrow beam, and someone else had a headlamp with just a really wide beam, to see who would find more stuff. And in general, searching in an open environment, the wide beam produced more snakes than a narrow beam. And they're both different things. If you have a narrow beam, you can consider 100% of one small area before moving on, but a wider beam gives you a little bit less saturation, but you can see more things. Like I spotted that tarantula right there from over there, and I might not have if I had a more narrow beam. But in another time, like the daytime or any time that you're searching really particular places, the narrow beam is better. So I carry both types. Seems obsessive, but that's how it works. Okay, cave is up there. I'm hoping to find a live animal in there. Make up for what we just saw. It's not quite a cave, it's actually it's mine-aided. There's a lot of old mining in this area, and some of the byproducts of that are these artificial cave systems that are left behind, and animals move into them. Actually really useful for animals, because lots of stuff can fit in there, and then they can escape the heat, make really good little estivation sites, and hibernation sites as well, depending on which direction it's facing. This one happens to be both. There's a lot of the tailings, that's the rocky debris that they dug out during the mining. It's all around the base, and that is where some of these rattlesnakes spend the winter months. And when it's hot, they go inside the mine, and then between, they come down here and hunt. It's not a whole lot of up, but that's when you feel the heat. Climbing steep hills. If there's anything gravid that's pregnant, this might be where it would be, coming out and sitting in these rocks. So I'm looking, but that doesn't always work when it's too hot, you know. Okay. Time to switch to a narrow beam. And we're gonna look to see if there's anything in this cave first. Because if there's a bunch of javelina eyes in there, I want to leave. Or if there's any other kind of eyes in there that aren't a reptile, I probably want to leave too. Okay, I see my camera. Nothing else is in there. Okay, so we're gonna look for snakes first. Make sure, see what kind of area we have here so I don't step on one. Check everything out, and then there's a bat in there. I hate it when there's a bat in there. There's a shed skin from something. It's not that I don't like bats, it's just that the lights confuse them, and I'm probably hurting them if they get seen by it. Oh, and I don't want bats to land on me too. Okay, I'm gonna take off some of this equipment. Okay, turn this off. Maybe the bats left. Sometimes you can do that. You can kind of get the bats to go. Last year I stepped over this and there was a blacktail under it. It scared the hell out of me. And the bats left. How nice of them. It's a small shed skin. There's a few sheds. Interesting. There's all these shed skins, but no snakes. That's a blacktail skin. And that's a blacktail skin, but no blacktails. Where are they? A lot of javelina poop in here. A lot of bat is up there. Shit. Oh my god, it's so much cooler back here. But no animals. They must have been here at sundown and crawled out. Well, that means I gotta find them. But they might not be findable. Hoping they would just be in here. They could be on the camera too. Sometimes I'll hide it under these rocks. Nope. Nothing. Okay. Let's get out and swap these cameras. And then immediately you're just hit with heat. Okay, we're gonna swap this camera. A lot of times I just cannot find those snakes once they come out because they don't go far. They come out and they'll kind of like hang out around the entrance somewhere, but in a really steep environment like this, I usually don't know where that is and don't have a huge rate of success in locating it, but I'm going to look around. Let's swap those cameras first. It'd be cool if there's something on the camera, but kind of doubting it just from the history of the brand that I chose for it. No battery. Okay, great. Okay, we're just going to turn it on and leave it. It is solar, so it just says it'll last until tomorrow. In fact, actually, I might just keep the tripod put and just swap the camera itself. That might be a better way to go here. As long as I can do this without destroying the little rock pile I made. What are the settings? I might edit this part out. This is boring, I know. Okay. Oh, I can't keep it the same because this is a different setup. Okay, that's fine. It's actually easier. That down and we're good to go. We're going to leave it just like that. See if anything comes in this field of view. Now, snakes don't really trigger that very well, so that's a bummer. But there's ways you can deal with it. I just can't do it. No, there's a big, crazy cave cricket. I can't really deal with it with the battery that I have to have there. Okay. Let's see if there's anything on here. been out for like a couple of months. Anybody? One picture. Corrupted card. Piece of junk. Do not buy the hunting trail cam from, I can't remember what company this is. Yeah, tried to save a little bit of money so that I could not have them stolen and feel bad about it. And this thing's going in into the trash. Let's see if we can find a blacktail though while we're here. And I have my backpack off. Where would it crawl to? Usually don't go super far, but like I said, a lot of times it's not as easy as just the slam dunk of them just being in there. What I could do is go there in the morning, right at sunup, and wait till they come back. Can learn a lot that way. I probably just missed them is all. I'm just going to go up this hill just a little tiny bit and see if there's something accessible. This mountain's a little hard to climb around onto. It's unforgivably steep in a lot of places, a lot of loose rock and this kind of stuff you don't want to be messing around on in the dark. So I was really hoping that there would be something to look at in there, because this video sure isn't as interesting if I don't succeed in finding something, but I guess that's part of the, I don't know, is that the appeal? You don't know if we're going to succeed or not? Is that useful still? Kind of tempted to just put it up and see what happens. Okay, put my stuff back on. I'll drop down, check some more habitat a little bit, but I don't have high hopes for anything being out. I mean, everything is just in survival mode right now. It's not in hunting mode or let's go exploring or mate or do anything mode. It's in hunker down and try your best not to die mode, and that is it. Okay. I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes here looking for these blacktails and see if maybe they just went up and around the side. Actually, we're gonna go down the hill. Swing along the bottom of this scree. Turn my headlamp off. A lot of times my headlamp is on. It's mostly there to help. It's just kind of like to assist when I'm doing something with equipment or cameras or something like that. The reason I don't have it on all the time usually is just bugs. It's not that, you know, I don't think anybody likes bugs landing on their face, but bugs landing on your face while you're trying to like climb around on a cliff side in the dark is less fun. We'll say that. Okay, go back to my wide beat. Yeah, I think I just missed them. I needed to be here at dark instead of 45 minutes after. Whoops. At least we know there's probably something in there from those sheds. That wasn't here 2 months ago. Nobody there. At least it's cooling down a little bit. It's probably low 90s now. So that's nice. It's amazing that some of these ocotillos are still as healthy looking as they are. Nice and green like that. Look at that. I guess if anyone's going to figure out how to thrive when it's just this deadly out here, it's going to be them. I remember the first time I saw ocotillo when I moved to Arizona in 1999. I think I called it a Dr. Seuss plant. That's what it looked like. It looked like just this ridiculous cartoon. A tuft of tuft of sticks coming out of the ground. Even the name is kind of cartoonish. Okay, so nobody in the estivation hole. That's fine. Or nobody now. I think I just missed them just by a little bit. So we're going to go down to the main wash again and go down to where sometimes I see some tiger rattlesnakes. But to be honest, I don't think anything's going to be there because they don't like it being dry either. But we'll check it out. The worst that happens is we see nothing. Still. And then I'll figure out what to do with this video. This happens though. I mean, it probably looks like on the channel that every time we go outside we're just killing it and seeing all kinds of stuff and we never fail. We're just tripping over rattlesnakes. This is more how it is. Sometimes you see them, sometimes it takes a lot of work, sometimes it takes very little work. Sometimes they're exactly where they're supposed to be. There's a lot of times that we go out and don't see anything. Like went out this last weekend, Corey and I, you've seen him on here before. We went all the way out to a location in far eastern Arizona to go try and find records of snakes in places that they have never been documented. So we're already kind of, up against it. And when did we choose for this effort? well, the hottest, driest time of year, of course. And surprisingly, we succeeded. We found an Arizona black rattlesnake that makes a total of number 3 ever for that particular mountain. Better known. The second one being found by us just a couple years ago too. So, but that's it. It's all, 7 hours one way of driving, depending on how traffic is. Hiking and trying to sleep under trees in the heat of the day to escape it during the, and we get a snake. So those don't make very good videos. I was bummed out about that Hila. Such cool animals. That was a young one. It's a couple years old. Of course, it has to hatch during one of the worst droughts we've ever seen. Actually, it's not it is the worst drought we've ever seen. From the looks of it, it's just a few weeks old too, so it probably got that last little bit of rain, but didn't live that much longer afterwards. I mean, it still had tissue inside and full of bugs that were eating it, so that's not that old. One other indicator when you know you're just probably not going to see a whole lot. Listen. Nothing. No birds, no bugs, no mammals kind of chattering out there. Everything is just in panic mode. Down in here is where you usually see the most tiger rattlesnakes, but again, usually in better conditions than this. Oh, sneeze. Ironically, this is a place I usually kind of try to stay a little quiet because there's a kind of approaching a place where there's a ranch nearby. And they have a dog that doesn't like strange sounds in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's not like the ranch could make it so. I don't know. It's just best to make everything as friendly as possible. I don't want to bother them. I mean, ideally, I can come in here, just do my work, and get out of here, and nobody knows. Okay, we got a beehive coming up, so I'm gonna go low light and just scoot past it. Beehive is the scariest thing out here, by far. If something's gonna kill me, it's gonna be a beehive. It's usually how you deal with it, you just kind of run past them. That's new. Where'd that come from? There's a railroad tie hanging out in the middle of the... I swear that wasn't here last time. There's a shed skin. Okay, so something uses this area. Let's see what that's from. That's a rattlesnake. It's probably a blacktail from the size and little tiny scales on it. It's not super new though. Okay, we're pretty much at the edge of the property here, so I gotta turn around. It's gonna go to that rock and that'll be done. I hear a beehive, let's go. So part of me wants to just climb straight up the side of this and get out, and maybe I can check something new along the way. Since coming in, if we didn't see anything, it's not super likely we're going to see something on the way out. But there's another part of me that remembers the last time I did that in the daytime, and it was kind of hard and not a little bit dangerous. Is there a good way there? I can think about it a little bit more. Oh, there's the beehive. Let's go. Fast, fast, fast. You know what, since I'm not really seeing anything out here, I think I'm going to stay low. Just kind of quick risk versus reward. If I'm going to go do something that I'm in the middle of and I'm kicking myself for not taking the easy way back, it's going to be on a night that there's animals out. I think I'm fine with just this one being relegated to kind of a camera retrieval mission. That's fine. Just a little bit of staying in shape. In the way that we know how to do it. So here's what I'm going to do, I think. No animals show up on this trip. I'm going to put a poll up on our page, on our YouTube channel. And I'm just going to ask a pretty simple question is, are you still interested? I'll have to figure out a good way to phrase it, but are you still interested in watching a video where it's not guaranteed that an animal will be found. Is the work itself interesting? Is coming along on something like this interesting? Now let's see what happens. What I'll do is, well, I guess you wouldn't know it if it doesn't work out, but we'll say if more than 50% of the people respond and say, yeah, I would want to see that, I'd still be interested in having a video where you may or may not see something. Then we'll put it up. In fact, if you're seeing this right now, then that's what it means. Because if less than 50% of people say that, then oh shit. Rock was slippery. Yeah, if less than 50% say that, then we'll call it good. I'll try this again when there's actually stuff outside. I'm actually pretty impressed with the DJI cam's operation in the heat. It's hot out here and it's been running this whole time and it isn't shut down yet. That's pretty miraculous. This is the other way up. It's not especially pleasant. It can work, but I don't think that's what we're doing tonight. There's all tarantula butt. Hey tarantula butt, what are you doing? I'm not gonna touch her. She's busy. Oh, she went in, but here's another. Well, it went in. There's another tarantula. I guess this is the place where they store the tarantulas. Cool. I do really like them. I'm not a huge spider fan, which has actually been really a useful thing to me because it's totally irrational. There's nothing about spiders that are going to be a problem for me most of the time. Unless you're in the Amazon or something like that, when you have actually large deadly spiders running around and living in your bed and that kind of thing, but it gives me a chance to kind of feel a little bit of what the people that we talk to feel, where you might have somebody that's like, I don't know why, but I just am terrified of snakes, and I get it. It's not that they're dumb. It's not that they're misinformed. It's something else. It's at the back of your brainstem. I understand that because I have that with spiders, and I can work on overcoming it, and a lot of times I have to. So having that little bit of understanding of, I think a lot of people misinterpret this. So look at what we're doing and say, oh, you guys are brave, catching snakes, walking around in the dark. It's not that. It just doesn't scare me. Used to. This would have terrified me when I was 20, just walking around in the dark by myself in some remote area with mountain lions and crap, not a good time. Now it's like walking around at noon. It doesn't bother me in the least bit. So fear is a funny thing. Inherently, it doesn't make sense. And in many cases, things you really fear, the more you look at it, even if it really doesn't start making a lot of sense, you never stop feeling that. There's a little tarantula here. If I do this, yay, like that shouldn't get me as much as it does, but it does. And as a tool, it's a good thing for me to have. I'm also scared of roller coasters. You won't get me on a roller coaster. You will not. Not going to happen. It's irrational, I get it. It's silly. But the other thing is that for me there's no utility to it. Like, if I lived at Six Flags or something like that, then maybe, if that's the best way to get to work, then maybe it would be worth going through the work to get over my fear of roller coasters. But I'm not, so I don't need to. It's fine. But if you live in Arizona, it's probably time to work on that fear of snakes and scorpions and whatever else. There's that poor dead Hila again. Just heartbreaking. It sucks. I'm gonna look up here. The amount of vegetation is a lot lower than normal too, so it's not even just the lack of moisture, it's the ground can't retain it as well too. There's just there's more sun on ground than there was. Okay, I kind of got myself in a spot here. I have really good boots on, but the problem is sometimes these rocks and these drainages get so worn. They're just super smooth and skinny, or slippery. So even though it's totally dry out here, even really good grippy boots just kind of slip off. Had a camera here one time on that rock, pointing at a little bit of water here. Got a juvenile mountain lion drinking off it. Actually, that was on the channel a long time ago too. Just do a search on our channel for mountain lion. You probably see exactly what I'm talking about. That was the one I first heard when I was right about to drop into the canyon, and I heard it calling from above. And the mountain lion call is really interesting. It doesn't sound like what you'd think. Like on TV, it's just like, a cat sound. The real mountain lion sounds like a bird. Sounds a lot like a bird. It doesn't sound like a sound that's going to come out of a, something that could hurt you. So when you hear it, it's not the kind of reaction a lot of times that you might get if it was something else. It doesn't take place subconsciously. There's a really logical reaction to it for me most of the time, in that you know, it's not apparent what it is. You have to sit there and think about it for a minute and go, is that a bird or is that a lion? I can kind of take that edge off of it. Yeah, that's where I was before. Maybe we should go down and see if there's anything in that dried up spring. I guess if there's just no water at all in an area, and maybe just having like even the most recent chance of it could be enough to have something there. A usual reason I don't like to go through it is it gets real brushy, and I've seen a lot of snakes over there, so I don't always like just kind of walking blind through a lot of brush. But I think what I'm seeing here with so much reduction in vegetation because of the drought, it might not be an issue. And it's not like there's an abundance of snakes out anyway tonight. So what the hell, let's walk over that way. We'll go out the long way. There's that skunk smell again. Oh, there's Diamondback. Hey, buddy. I guess that worked. I bet he's estivating right in this little cave here. I looked in that cave. No way. Yeah, I looked in that cave and he wasn't there, so he's probably here before. He probably just walked out and came over here and just walked right past him and didn't turn around and see it. Well, that is cool. All right, well, I'm gonna get a photograph of this. I think I'll show you a little bit about what that is like. It's not necessarily that, you know, we're hurting for pictures of western diamondbacks, but part of the work I'm doing here is to document everything I can. So that means I need photos of everything I can. That includes very, very common snakes. I actually like photographing diamondbacks anyway. I'm not somebody that, I don't know, it's a herper thing. They got, you still photograph atrox. That's a Latin name for diamondback. Well, yeah. Of course I still like snakes. I'm not into snakes because they're rare. I'm into them because I like them. So I think that's kind of an interesting, it's an evolution that I think a lot of herpers do, is you get real excited about it in your early 20s. You go find a bunch of stuff. You're running around with your bros, seeing everything, and then eventually everybody gets different interests. And then things get really interesting because that big group breaks off into a bunch of smaller groups. And some of you know, some of them will go into deeper aspects of herpetology, and some others will go into deeper aspects of Instagram, and that's where it lies. So for me, this doesn't mean I'm better or worse than anybody, obviously. It's just what I'm interested in. I'm going to take some pictures of some diamondbacks for sure. Okay, so this I can use to see if I've seen this snake before. A lot of times there's things in their pattern you can take a look at and see, get an idea if you've seen it before or not. The other thing is I can collect a data point on where it was and when. Like right now, when it's really, really dry like this, That is a good thing to know. Where are all the snakes hanging out? Apparently closer to where the Trident of Spring. That's where our diamondbacks are hanging out. The other thing I can do too is that this is now a photograph that the Land Trust can use to help try to accomplish their mission of educating people and conservation. And this diamondback is here because this area has not been developed, so it's part of that. I'm just going to take a quick phone picture of it, and that's what goes in the record. There we go. Okay. Atrox. Go through here. Take a picture of it. Don't know if it's a male or female. I'm guessing female just by the look of it, but that's not what we're doing here, so I'm not going to disturb it. Desert Foothills Land Trust Survey. Unknown. It's alive. It is estivation staging, meaning this snake is using that cave right there most likely, and that's where it estivates. So that's important for me to pick out, and I'll fill in the rest of that information later because it's all the same. One of the earlier things I did is took kind of a general description of the habitat in here, you know, the trees that are common, the description of the way the canyon is and the geology and all that. So I can just kind of put it there. Okay, Diamondback, I'll see you later. Thanks for saving the day with this video. Let's see if you have any buddies. Yeah, it's kind of a neat little cave. I bet he just tucks away in there during the day. I've looked at that cave a billion times. I've never seen anything in it, so that's nice. Alright, so I'm going to step a little more cautiously now, knowing that there are snakes out as we're heading into this other generally wetter area. By wet, you know, there's big air quotes around wet, because it's not. But I can say that now that I've been climbing around the rest of this canyon, where I'm standing right now sure feels cooler. Like just coming into this grass right in here, the temperature just dropped about 5 or 6 degrees instantly. So who knows, maybe there's something to this grass. You know, I think I'm still going to do the poll. I'm going to show this video, but I think I'll still do that poll too, because I want to know. I was thinking about that. If I didn't see that snake, is this still something you want to see? Hell, do you want to see it when I find the snake? It's kind of questionable about whether watching an hour-long YouTube video to find one diamondback is worth it anyway, but let's see what happens. I got my headlamp on. It's whenever I was getting dive bombed. Switch lights. It's one of the things I've learned. It's not what I just did, but one of the things I've learned from just hiking and looking for snakes at nighttime and all over the world is if you start getting swarmed by bugs, that's how you clear them, is you just stand still, turn off your light for a minute, and just sit there in the darkness. And it's like all the bugs forgot you exist. I'm going to take off. You can see me if I'm doing this. Yeah, you can. Kind of have a little bit of battery left, that's right. If it shuts off, I'll swap the batteries. So an interesting thing about insects, it's not snakes, but Insects are not actually attracted to lights. It's not where they bump into lights. They use the moon to orient themselves. So the moon is always against their back when they're flying around. So when they have an artificial light, basically just crashing into it over and over again. So it's not like they like fly into it, they fall into it from the side or from above, and they can't escape it because they go and then they just try to orient. It's like if you're hiking or running and the ground is continually changing position to be above you or behind you or something like that. So it's kind of terrible if you think about it. Like all those bugs that are flying around and bouncing against my light, they're just trying to, get something done. They're just leaving. And then here comes a moon flying around, walking around the dark like an idiot. And suddenly they're crashing into it. Anyway, that's enough talk about bugs. Get back to the real work here. Sorry, entomologists. I just thought that was interesting. Actually, what I really think is interesting about it is in tropical environments where there's 100% canopy, like any jungle you're in, I've never had a problem with bugs landing on me with the light. It's like if the bugs are in an area where there's complete canopy, then maybe the moon doesn't mean anything to them. That's been my theory. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. I should probably check on that with somebody, but that's been my experience. Is any place that I'm hiking that tends to have naturally 100% canopy cover, you don't have problems with bugs landing on you. Sometimes it's like one bug is really wanting to, though, like in the Amazon, it's wasps. There's wasps that come out at night and will attack any light, which is of course attached to your head when you're in a boat and can't go anywhere. I think we ran into that. If you look at the series that we did a while back, a couple years ago, we all went to the Amazon. That was part of it. We go out at night to go look for stuff in a boat, and you meet all the wasps that way. Okay, this is a bunch of cattails here. This is the wettest area. This is the spring. But it's dry, of course. But it's still a few degrees cooler than the surrounding area. And I bet if you were to really examine it, there's probably still more humidity here, more moisture in the area than there would be. Actually, the last video that I did that actually kind of got some traction on TikTok with more than 1 million views on it was here. I was walking over here and there was a diamondback on this little ledge. Hell, maybe it was the one that we just saw. And he got all excited and rattled and slid down into the water. It was kind of funny. Anyway, that's where that was at. No snakes though. Okay. Honestly, a lot of times I worry less about walking through grass like that because it's at the transition where the snakes hang out. So if you're an ambush predator and you're not trying to hide from the sun, there's not a lot of use in hanging out in the grass. If I was in another part of the country though, like if we live where Southern Pacifics do or something like that, I'd be much more concerned with walking through grass like this. Usually you can still really see the snakes if you're just looking just straight down like this through the grass. Because they're usually not completely covered. There's a tree that has like a little cave next to it. I want to look at it. This looks like a really diamondbacky area. I think I've been doing this long enough now. I can hear hot comments in my head before they happen. What does a diamondbacky area look like? Well, it's all this loamy, flat soil with lots of room and caves under it and dense cover, but still flat places that they can sit out and ambush under kind of sparser cover. They tend to like to have a little bit more room. Some of the other species in the flat, when it flattens out like that, that's one of the things I look for. So if you're in a stream and it kind of spreads out into a confluence or something, that's one of the things I note that says, wait a minute, you can still find the other stuff here, but it's really looking like diamondbacks are going to be here too, or primarily. Not tonight, of course, no, but you know what I mean. It's a little damp over here too. I can smell the moisture. Dove. Chill out. That's the thing doves do, is they'll sleep in a tree with like 50 of them in it. And you walk by and then they all explode out at the same time. Scares the shit out of you no matter what. I've gotten a lot, I'm used to it now. A lot of times I don't flinch or anything, but anybody that's new to this, that's a fun thing to watch. That is not a bee, that's a fly that sounds like a bee. I checked. He's gonna annoy the hell out of me, so we're gonna do the trick. There he goes. Flying back up towards the moon. Poor guy. This all looks real diamondbacky over here too. So. Sorry, I got quiet. Another ranch. I don't think anyone's there right now, but just from lots of experience, it's not always good to wake the ranch dogs for no good reason. And usually when I'm out here, I'm not, talking to myself for 2 hours, so a little bit different. Let's go check out across the way. Got an interesting kind of damp breeze blowing in. Weird. Because there's no clouds. I do know one spot back here where tiger rattlesnakes live sometimes, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to it right now. In order to get there, I have to kind of go up through this brush. And it might be a little bit late to start getting all the dogs barking. It's more of a sun-up kind of trip. Let's see how this brush is. Maybe I can get there, I don't know. Ouch. Alright. Well, maybe. Can I get there? Maybe. This is a much steeper canyon. This one's a lot harder to get around in. Battery died, finally. I forgot to drink water. That's the good thing about drinking all that Gatorade before you start. Anyway. It's a lot harder to get around this canyon, so let's take it easy. If I can't get to that spot, then I can't get to it, but I'm not going to climb up and wake up all the dogs. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't mind crashing through brush and getting some cuts, but a choya. Maybe. Let's see, can I get through here? With minimal pain? Yeah, let's try it. There we go. Sure. Turn this off. Just more and more obstacles here. Normally I'd come in from above. A lot of times too, I don't like to explore new things at night because it's easy to make bad decisions. Bad decisions, wrong turns. Or run into beehives you weren't aware of. In an environment like this, a beehive can kill you. So Yeah, a little less than smart tonight, but it's okay. Some good caves here. No tracks coming out though. Maybe when I leave, I'll be a little less concerned about barking dogs. If I can get to the place I want to go. There's the cave. Okay, let's go see. Further up, there's another cave that I've never seen snakes in, but it has a ton of javelina poop. And I don't always want to run into a bunch of them either in here. In places where you can't really maneuver. First time I found this little cave, there was a tiger rattlesnake sitting right outside of it. But not today. Oh well. It's worth a shot. I think I'll just go out and go up on the way out. Ask the dogs for forgiveness later. Yeah, I'll do that. Always thought this looked kind of interesting because there's a lot of deep spots here, but I've never seen a snake here. I think part of it might be just that this is relatively shallow. It just might not have as much protection from the heat. As something that has a few more tons of rock over it. It's looking kind of treacherous though, because this ground is really brittle, caliche, and different kinds of rock that don't really support weight very well. Schist. It's this really thin, fragile rock that's all over around my house, and it's also really common here. So we're gonna just climb down here and go straight up. Unless I can go straight down. Yeah, these are the parts I don't like doing at night. Like 10 minutes ago, I'm like, hey, my car's right there. I should just go. And now I'm like climbing on a really sketchy little spot here. For no reason. Okay, hook. I was talking about, it's useful. It's like having another foot. Yeah, don't look down. So it's fun when you do and see like, oh, okay, if you slip, you just go over an edge into cactus or whatever. That's fun. How the hell did I get this high up? Didn't feel like I was going up that much. This is all good looking. Look at that cave. This looks like the kind of place you'd run into a tortoise, actually. I've never found a living tortoise at this preserve before, so that'd be pretty cool. I found a pretty long dead one a while back. That's not how we like to find tortoises, so. Okay, doves, chill out. Just trying to get the hell out of here. Bee or fly? Bee. Sure. Okay, so I gotta find my way down here. Faster than I was planning on before. A lot of times those bees will, like one will come and check you out and then leave, and then two will come back and check you out, and then they'll leave, and then 5 will come and check you out. They just kind of keep going like that. So when you start getting investigated like that, it's time to figure out which direction you're going to go. It's an old wall. Okay, that is that. One snake, one broken camera, one dead Hila monster, one armful of various scratches and cuts from kind of stupid side trip. And 1 hour probably of probably pretty boring video, but I think since we did technically find a snake, we'll push it up. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you find interesting enough to just kind of put in a long form, let's see what happens kind of format? Or would you rather it be more of the traditional, highly edited, curated, show you the interesting bits and forget about the rest situation? This really wasn't a whole lot more work, especially less work. It could even be more interesting, so I don't know. But I do think that that's that though, so take off the stinky hat and put on the less stinky hat. All right, good night.